It's week 13, day 86 of my full-time chronic pain rehabilitation journey. My name's Jason, and today I'm going to talk about how to practice resilience training. If everything's going well, you're not going to be able to test your mettle. First though, a quick status update. There is a whole lot of good and a not insignificant amount of bad to report. So on the good side, I figured out what's causing my SI joint problem that's been keeping me from doing some of the exercises that I want to do. And turns out it is not the SI joint itself, it is actually some facet joints around L1, S1. And even though I don't know exactly what's aggravating them, I know how to compensate for it. My physical therapist used a chiropractic move to pop them back into place. And sure enough, the pain dissipated and I was able to do a decline squat today of a new record actually, of 370 pounds at 14 repetitions, up from 360 pounds at 14 repetitions also. So this is quite an accomplishment because I'm actually back to where I was and have surpassed where I was before I started having the lower back issue that I just described, and I have a workaround. The next piece of good news I have to report is that my body composition has changed and changed dramatically. I have, in the last 2.5 months or 10 weeks, lost 3% body fat and lost 18 pounds, which equates to roughly 1.8 pounds per week. So this confirms what I'm seeing visually. My body is headed in the right direction. On to the not insignificant bad news. I had another night of full-on waking insomnia. I can go to sleep, but I get woken up about 2.5 hours later, just like the night prior. However, I did a lot better job of managing my emotions. I didn't let it get the better of me, and I practiced a lot of the principles that I've been talking about. And I was able to go back to sleep about 3 hours later, but it was very fitful and restless sleep and very intermittent, so it didn't really do much for me, and so I'm pretty tired and groggy, and frankly, I'm compromised. If this goes on another night, it'll be 3 nights of really bad sleep, in which case I don't think I can drive a car. I'm going to have my wife chauffeur me around to all of my locations so I can keep my schedule tomorrow. Hopefully that won't happen, but that is the plan. I did notice on the way home today from Costco that I was starting to feel mental fog, which to me indicates that I'm probably not fit to drive if I have another night of bad sleep. On to the tip for the day. It's related to diet. If you increase your protein intake significantly, you should compensate by taking a stool softener. I talked about this in my keto diet video, but high protein diets lead to constipation, and you will have to take something to help you move things along. On to the topic of the day, how to practice resilience. Well, resilience means that you can tolerate adverse environments. When things are difficult, you have the internal fortitude to endure them. You can practice this, and you can actually build up what I would call mental calluses that allow you to keep enduring more and more difficult things without breaking a sweat. So for the last 3 months, I have been doing cryotherapy. I take 2 cold showers a day, and I sit in a tub of near freezing water for a not insubstantial amount of time. I also spend about 30 minutes a day in a hot, dry sauna, about 180 degrees, and I stretch. So I'm doing hot and cold extremes to build up that resilience that I talked about. I also have a pretty full-time grueling schedule that keeps me very involved in my rehabilitation, and that includes a lot of intense exercise. So every day I'm doing something difficult, that's hard, that sometimes I really don't want to do, especially when I'm really tired like I am today. There are other times that you can build resilience, and they are days when you're having a lot of problems, like I am right now. When you're sleep deprived is a great chance to build up your resilience. Can you tolerate sleep deprivation? Can you still function in the world, get things done, and hold it together? It's an important question, and I'm about to find out. Actually, I've been doing it so far pretty well. I'm hoping that even if this goes on for many more nights, I'm hoping it doesn't, that I will be able to keep functioning relatively well compared to how I would have stopped functioning before I started my journey. This opportunity is important because it allows me to put into practice a lot of things that I've been essentially theorizing about, but haven't actually been able to apply in a really difficult environment like sleep deprivation. This could be, if this trend continues of insomnia every night, This could be a sort of mini hell week for me. Navy SEALs are trained in a sleep deprivation environment where they get something like 3 hours of sleep for an entire week. And this is essentially to see and weed out who are the people that don't have the mental fortitude to make it. I'm not comparing what I'm going through to what they're going through. Theirs is much more severe. But for me, this is difficult. I'm not a Navy SEAL. I've not been trained to be a Navy SEAL. I'm just an average guy. But I'm having to endure sleep deprivation scenarios with a lot of intense physical exertion. I'm going to the gym every day. I'm going through all my supportive routines. It takes about 6 to 7 hours to go through all this. So I am working out and pushing myself really hard, even when I'm sleep deprived and still continuing to function. The question is, how long can I do this? And the answer is, I don't know, but we're going to find out. Here are some of the things that I think I can learn with this bout of insomnia, or at least put into practice, things that I've talked about that I may have done a little bit about, but not really gone all in. Now it's time to go all in. The first is essentially to practice reframing. This is a technique where you look at a situation that has some negative attributes and see some positive ones. I'm doing that right now with insomnia. This is not just an annoyance, it's actually an opportunity to improve my abilities and to learn more about myself. The second is, I get to practice what I call inner management. I get to essentially control my inner state through a number of practices that I've been learning about. One of those is meditation, which helps me distance my feelings, distance myself from my feelings. The other is to minimize my suffering. If I'm having a night of insomnia, if I contextualize it with all the past nights, the insomnia feels worse. But if I'm only dealing with the feelings of that night, and maybe even of that hour or of that minute, I can tolerate it. And so this is a chance for me to minimize suffering. And when you're really tired, your higher brain functions don't work right, and you are essentially running on your animal brain. So the question is, can I sit with my own shit, the difficult stuff that comes up in my brain, especially when I'm tired, when I'm fatigued like I'm going to be, or how I was last night, and hopefully won't be tonight. The other is, I have a couple of videos now, one out on insomnia, one out on sleep practices. This is a chance for me to implement all of those, especially the ones that I haven't quite done yet. I can double down and practice these techniques because they're completely applicable to what I'm going through right now. And then the last is, I get to maintain some momentum. Even though I'm sleep deprived, how much can I do? Like I said, the last 2 nights, I've slept very poorly, minimal sleep, but I've done everything I was supposed to do every day, including grocery shopping today. How long can I maintain this momentum? And the answer is, I don't know, but I'm going to give it my very all, because this is my potential mini hell week. And I'm going to be as Navy SEAL-like, which is, again, something I've never tried to do. I'm going to do that as much as possible and hopefully make myself proud. Fighting for your life means being tested. Trials aren't just troubling and inevitable. They're also unique opportunities to learn and grow. Embrace them. If you find my videos helpful, please pass them along and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, keep fighting for your life.